I read Doom 2019-38 here. For some bizarre reason, I looked at part 2 of this finale to the series about a year ago. And so now, we are looking at part 3. The very end of the series. Spoiling everything for you. This issue's cover, it feels like it's on the wrong issue. And I've worked out what happened, I think. Last issue's cover is a generic shot of Mr. Doom. I think this issue's cover works better last issue, where the driver was featured a lot more. But last issue had a cover that connected with the covers to the other titles. Spider-Man 2019, Excellent Man 2019, and Ghost Rider 2019. I reckon having to do that cover made it all off. This might have been intended to run last issue, but it got bumped to the issue after to accommodate the mandated cover. Mr. Doom was defeated. He was humiliatingly defeated by a villain. And now we have his revenge. Part 3 of our revenge story is subtitled Expressway to Your Skull. It takes its name from the closing track of Sonic Youth's Evil album. We're gonna kill the California girls. So, here are our villains, or rather our villain and his puppet. John Herod is the mastermind and architect of Mr. Doom's downfall, and the phony Captain America is the public face that he exploited. Here, they discuss the Grave Robber and how they want access to the Grave Robber. The Grave Robber is a mutie who can raise the dead. They want him because zombies can be a workforce that never need to eat or sleep. This is stuff recently going on in Excellent Man 2019. There is some very tight coordination going on between the two books at this point. We see the resolution to the Grave Robber stuff in that it involves Mr. Doom. He shoots down Herod's transport that had collected the Grave Robber. Mr. Doom didn't want Herod getting access to the Grave Robber. There is another part of that story that feeds into a scene in this issue. It's almost sad that you have to read Excellent Man 2019 to follow a lot of this final arc, but it definitely makes it easier to understand it if you do, because we draw on so much Excellent Men 2019 continuity. Here is the fake Captain America off his tits on drugs. Mr. Doom built a sanctuary for muties called Halo City, and after Mr. Doom's fall, Halo City stood as the only free land, the only place John Herod couldn't quite touch. This was by design. Mr. Doom might have built a haven for muties, but its real purpose was maybe to act as a fallback, impenetrable sanctuary for himself if something went wrong. He has fled to Halo City, and now we have this mutie, Billy Z. He featured in Excellent Men 2019. Not much. I think he was only in like one story even. But Billy Z is a kid mutie who can build things. He's a machinist. He's a bit like Fork. Can't remember which one of you it is that loves Fork. But now you've got an ugly child Fork. Mr. Doom has summoned Billy Zed to use his muty abilities to make him a new armour. And I love this bit. I really like Doom openly respecting Billy Zed for his gifts. And that's something with Mr. Doom. A lot of people, a lot of writers do, think Mr. Doom is so high on himself that he sees everybody else as below him and unworthy of any respect. And Mr. Doom can think like that, but Mr. Doom is also a pragmatist. And in a scenario like this, time is a factor as well. Billy Zed can make a new armour for him quickly, and Mr. Doom does recognise the usefulness of this kid. The other thing is Mr. Doom has been humbled so profusely by the villain. If you scoff at Mr. Doom relying so much on others, look at it as a result of his defeat and a necessity. I like that Mr. Doom does and can put value on other characters. And it's not exclusive to Doom 2019 either. Remember when he and Xi'an were a partnership? He somewhat respects Captain America. He needed Doctor Strange to actually save his mother's soul. We cut to another ingredient of Mr. Doom's plan, the driver. Another minor Excellent Men 2019 character. I explained him in the previous issue, where he features a lot more. He is basically a mutie linked to a car that he can drive forever and at great speed. Over here we have some more Excellent Men 2019 tie-in. We have Xi'an and Shakti, the co-leaders of Excellent Men 2019. I will talk about Excellent Men 2019 more thoroughly at some point. I don't like it. My main problem is that it introduces about 3 dozen characters, and it explores almost none of them, and no story is really executed or told. It presents ideas, it will say an idea, and that'll be it. My main complaint for this video shall be this but ugly new design for Doom 2019. I really don't like it one bit. It looks nasty. Every part of it looks wrong. The thing that sticks out to me every time is the face mask. The face mask looks shit. It looks like someone drawn a very incorrect version of Mr. Doom's face mask. I think the big thing is that we are getting a redesign from the book at a point where there is not a regular artist. No idea who even designed this. It isn't necessarily the artist that draws this issue, but it's also what he wears for the shockingly abysmal run that comes after this. Design-wise, it's meant to call back to his classic design somewhat. And I think you could have saved a lot of time and misery by just having him wear that. That would even add an extra sense of pride to his revenge. He could defeat his enemy and then announce that he was not beat by a native of this future, but by someone from 100 years ago. Doom 2019 had 2 other designs. His original, the blue one as I call it, a great redesign that set this Mr. Doom apart, but also very clearly still Mr. Doom. And then we had his Warren Fallis run design, which I like some days and don't others. It's one of those looks. I think the artist drawing it is the key. Broderick Kingsley does it well. Ron Lee over in Excellent Men 2019, he does it well. The Wild Man in Spider-Man 2019 does it well. Many of us do not. Doom leaves Billy Zed to work on one last piece of his revenge, a nanotech virus thing, and in his downtime Mr. Doom leaves to close off a loose end. Welcome to the long part of this video. This is Morphine Somers. I need to explain him straight off the bat. Morphine Somers was the most Warren Fallis self-insert you could find. He was a chain-smoking, cynical, political dissident. Mr. Doom chose him to be part of his inner circle when he took over America. Morphine was installed as the person in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. City. He is a mutie with a decay touch. He can age stuff with his touch. Mr. Doom chose him presumably because he saw him as easy to control, someone he could put in power to act as his liaison to the mutie community at S.H.I.E.L.D. City. When John Errard launched his attack on Doom, he killed off almost all of Mr. Doom's cabinet and his allies. Morphine Somers survived. We actually do see a few assassination attempts on him in Excellent Men 2019. That was satisfying for me when I read it, seeing that. Ultimately, Morphine Somers was protected somewhat by S.H.I.E.L.D. City being untouchable by errors. And then, because Morphine Somers, complete self-serving twat, started trying to broker deals with errors for his own immunity. This included offering him the grave robber, and before that there were some other dealings. He was bartering for continued non-interference and self-preservation. Here, Mr. Doom gives Morphine Somers some comeuppance. He maybe cripples him by shooting him in the spine with a spike, but also what he shot him with is an inhibitor spike that cancels his mutie powers. He betrayed Mr. Doom's trust in him. He sold out. And I really appreciate the unspoken of arc where we basically have Warren Fallis writing himself as a horrible sellout. He traded in the catchphrase t-shirts and skinhead boots for suits and greased back hair. Mr. Doom leaves Morphine Somers alive though. He decided that Morphine Somers was at least worthy of a second chance and an opportunity to maybe redeem himself for his actions. We see an extension of this scene. Well, we see the whole scene again in Excellent Men 2019. Morphine Somers appeared in both books. Even Ron Lee can't make this Mr. Doom design look any good. The difference, the addition, is after Mr. Doom leaves, Morphine Somers leaps up and swears that he is going to get his own revenge on Mr. Doom with the power of the mutie Messiah. Nothing ever comes of this. Morphine Somers barely appears again. A good example of my criticism of Excellent Men 2019. The other thing Excellent Men 2019 shows is that Morphine Summers was not crippled by Mr. Doom. We see him get up. Now the thing is, I had only ever read Doom 2019, and I thought, based on this scene here, he was crippled, and the reason why, when he was introduced, he was wearing a t-shirt that said, "Charlie, don't surf," and he had Dr. X from the Excellent Men on it. A shirt I'm surprised isn't available on Redbubble. But I thought Mr. Doom crippling Morphine Summers was a subtle callback to that, and now Morphine Summers don't surf. Now though, we're on to our main revenge. Mr. Doom is taking control of the driver again and using him for a direct assault on John Erard's red house. The thing he built with nanotech to replace the White House. It's made from flesh or something like that. The driver is like an unstoppable force when he is driving, so he is the perfect missile to fire at them. He's fast and they won't see it coming until it's too late. And the driver carries with him a specifically designed virus created by Billy Z that disassembles everything that it comes into contact with. Everything and everyone at the Red House is ate away by this nanotech virus. But Mr. Doom also has a built-in exception for John Erard, who he wanted to no defeat. A second virus was designed for him that is permanently eating away at his nervous system, leaving him in a constant state of extreme pain. And Mr. Doom wants him to live this way, unable to function from all the pain and only able to remember the man who brought about this agony. It is great revenge. But another criticism is I think we get through this scene too fast. It needed 1 or 2 more pages. We needed to see things in effect. The Captain America guy, for example, he dies off panel. We don't see him being disassembled by the nanotech. We only know he dies because it is said that the virus obliterated everything other than errors. It feels like we were robbed of a little bit of payoff there. Although at the same time it does maybe hammer home how instant and quick this attack was. We didn't have time to catch our breath and see the Captain America dying or John Erard really reacting to what was happening before he was down. Back in Halo City, Mr. Doom meets with S.H.I.E.L.D. He again displays actual respect towards her and her leadership, and he actually puts her in charge of Halo City now that Morphine Summers is dealt with. This also is a lead into Excellent Nation 2019, another short-lived Final Phase 2019 book like the Fantastic Force one. It too lost its writer after the first issues, but Brett Kavanaugh wrapped it up for us. It's a terrible book. Potential was there, but it's terrible. Morphine Summers appears in 1 or 2 issues briefly. They are his final appearances, I think. No mention of his plans for getting even with Doom. And Mr. Doom leaves. We have one issue after this that is postscript. It's like an epilogue. But it also contains a prologue at the end for the shit stuff that follows. My headcanon is that after all of this, after Warren Fallis is done writing, Mr. Doom returned to the 20th century. And this, everything that happened to him in 2019, it did happen to Mr. Doom. It just doesn't come up because he is too ashamed about how thoroughly destroyed he had been by John Errors. It doesn't matter that he, in the end, got his revenge. The story still involves him losing. It involves him falling. So he doesn't bring it up for that reason. Great Mr. Doom stories here, though. The perfect depiction of the popular Marvel villain. If he didn't slap on that ugly arse new armour, there wouldn't be much to complain about here. The art, actually. The book was without an artist, so I can't give it a pass for rushed or iffy art, but that the stories were such high quality, and it couldn't find an artist to add some visual consistency. That's a big shame here. Maybe someone else could have come up with a better redesign. For now, I will be the driver, and I'll shift the gear stick up to 7. Thumbs up. I know there's not a 7 on a gear stick. There's a reverse. You could be shifting into reverse. But it's going to look like a bloody fool going backwards on the M62.